Hello, Scorpio. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Daily Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm using the Magical Spell Oracle cards by Lucy Cavendish. I already shuffled. Relationship first, single second. Oracle cards come out as necessary. Start with Scorpio here. Why is it going upside down? Upside down? Upside down, Two of Cups. Alright, let's keep that in mind. We'll keep that in mind. Upside down, Two of Cups. Two. Alright, so I get this is connected, these three cards, plus these two oracle cards for you for what this is starting off as. So you get the Five of Pentacles. You're on the outside of something. There's a question. There's a question mark here. A question mark for sure. You're on the Five of Cups is telling me something's going on with your partner and you don't know what to make of it. There's open spots. There's questionable situations. There's just open things that you don't know what's truly happening, and you're questioning that. Things being left to the imagination are not working well, because what I'm getting here, you're wondering what's going on, you're left on the outside of some situation, and spiritually you have the Devil card with the Harmony and the Beauty. Now, what all this is telling me is that leaving this open to interpretation, how your partner is, I feel like your partner is doing that, but I feel like they're a little bit naive. I'm getting a naivety with that. The fact that these open spots are there, you're filling in the blanks yourself, and it's just not feeling good to you. The Devil card's there with the Harmony and the Beauty. Like, you're getting along, you're not giving your partner a hard time, but you're thinking, your mind's getting away from you. I have to be honest. I feel like that's what's happening. Your thoughts are thinking, oh my God, what's going on here? Oh my God, what's going on there? This person was late coming home, or they're doing that. What are they doing there? Like, why are they over there? Like, what were they doing from this time to that time? I noticed this and stuff. Where did this stuff come from? Like, who gave them that? Did they get that for themselves? They didn't tell me they got that for themselves. Why aren't they telling me where this came from? It's like almost like they got a gift or something, and you're wondering where the gift came from, but you're not asking at the same time. But you're wondering why they're not just telling you where the gift came from. It's like that kind of feel. Things like that. And I'm getting the glamour with the Beauty. Like, I feel like the Beauty, the Beauty card is a lot of times, seeing your own self-worth. That's a lot of times what this card is. The Harmony is getting along. So I feel like what they're saying with the Devil card here on top of it is like, I feel like your thoughts are getting out of control. I gotta be honest. And you're worth a lot more. This is a lot more stable. You're very valued in this situation, but the open-ended situations, it's just, there's a lot of questions. Why aren't you telling me where that came from? Why aren't you addressing that? This doesn't fit with that doesn't fit. Where were you in this time frame? You're not questioning them directly is what I'm getting. If this is hitting, I don't feel like you're questioning them directly, but you definitely want to know. Where you're standing also is the Ace of Cups. The love here is very strong, and I'm not going to deny that. But, and I'm sorry, it feels like I feel like you're traumatizing yourself. I feel like you're making things really hard on yourself, and this is becoming very heavy. I feel like this is catch-22, kind of like you don't want to come forward in an accusing manner, like, where did this come from? Where were you from this time to that time? But you also, it's hard for you, and you do have honest questions that you want answers to. I just feel like you can't seem to push it forward for one reason or another. I feel like this is rough. I do. And I feel like part of this, the challenge card is the Empress in this sense about, should I be asking these questions? Am I letting my thoughts get away from me? Is there something here I really actually should be paying attention to? Is something off the rails that I need to take care of and put back on the rails? What do I need to be doing? You're just trying to keep a hold of the relationship and maintain it. But it's the difference between is there something wrong that I need to fix, or are my thoughts getting out of control, and am I seeing problems that don't really exist? That's the challenge card with the Empress, because I feel like you're actually honestly looking at it that way. Like, is there really something wrong that I gotta fix, or are my thoughts getting away from me? And you're not really sure. And you don't want to neglect something if you should fix it, but you don't want to make a problem if there's really not one. It's difficult at this point. It's very difficult is what I'm getting. Your partner has the Fool card with the confidence. I'm getting a and this is why I was saying before the naivety. The naivety. They seem to think everything is fine. I don't feel like they're realizing. I don't feel like they're really aware. It's very naive. Like they're not. It's not clicking. Like if somebody gave. I almost feel like maybe like a parent or somebody like a friend that you're aware of, or like a family member gave them some type of gift, but it's not like it's a bad thing. Like I don't feel like if you knew where the gift came from, you would not care. I feel like you flat out would not care if that's happening. Like if something like that happened, or whoever this person is they're spending time with, if they told you who that was, you flat out would not care. It would not be an issue. It's just the fact that you don't know that detail. I feel like it's basically like either somebody hanging out with their mother or a sibling or a childhood friend where it's clearly a platonic relationship. If they told you, it wouldn't matter. You literally would not be bothered by it at all is what I'm getting. But it's the fact that you don't know. You just don't know. And they're not bringing it forward because they think it's a non-issue. They don't think it matters. And in their mind, for some reason, if it mattered, you'd say something and they would just tell you. But they're not thinking it's going to matter. They just seem to think, I'll just ignore it. They're just, I don't know, it's naive. I just feel like they're not seeing it as a problem. And they're very confident, like, well, if it bothers my partner, they'll say something. They always do. Is that how that happens? Feels like they're very confident also that if there's a problem, you'll tell them. And they'll just be like, well, this is what was happening. I'm just, like, is that a setup? Because I just feel like that, I don't like that. No, is it a setup? No, but it could feel like it. It could feel, but it's not a setup. It's not like they're trying to goad you into ask a question so they can use it against you. That's not happening. It's weird because I kind of connected it questioning, like, is that what's happening? Like, you're trying to draw me in so they can, turn it back around on me. That's not what's happening here. I don't feel like, I don't feel like they'd have a problem with you asking. I don't feel like they'd have a problem with you asking. I feel like you're more concerned about asking and then making it look like you don't trust them or something. You don't want to do that. It feels complicated here. Now, your partner has a lot of things going on here. This missing time, because I feel like for a lot of you it's like some type of questionable time, something questionable going on here. They have the Magician in their spiritual sense. There's something else coming. Like if they're spending time with somebody or somebody gave them a gift, like this is going to lead to something else. For example, if like, just for argument's sake, if your partner got a shirt as a gift from their mother, it's because they want them to wear this shirt to a certain occasion or something like that. If there's just a missing time, like they were hanging out with somebody and they haven't told you, it's because they're making plans with that person. There's some event coming forward, something like that. Something is coming from this missing time in the future, and it will make more sense in the future. I just feel like waiting for that to come forward is just kind of like, I feel like that naivety is not, I don't know if I'm saying that word right, but I just feel like they should be telling you and they're not, and they're just kind of like taking it for granted like it's fine, and if you really wanted to know, you'd ask. It's not a setup, though, because it bothered me how that first came through. Because they're going to go forward with plans here. See, the challenge with this person, your partner, is the Knight of Swords. This is the challenge card. This is what isn't going well at the moment. They should be coming forward with you and explaining. They should start these conversations. It should be something where, for example, if they got a gift or there's time missing, that's something you're going to notice, and they should just bring it forward. Especially if they're going to go, or they're planning an event in the future and they're going to do something, they should bring this forward. I'm getting that Fool card, though. They don't seem like it matters. To them, it doesn't seem like it matters at the moment. For right or for wrong, they just seem to be connecting like, it doesn't matter. When it needs to come forward, it will. If my partner wants to know what's going on before that, I'll let them know, but before they ask, why bother? It doesn't seem to matter. It's just not the time. They need to communicate more. Like that, I can't pick it up. We're just going to leave it there. I'm done with it. Because sooner or later, these plans are going to come forward. The Chariot comes in the future because what you're on the outside of, what you don't see coming, you're having these inklings. You know something's coming. You know something's going to happen. And I don't feel like it's bad, but they're going to go forward with it. But you having to wonder and just kind of hold to the side, feeling something's a little off, questioning like what is going on, something is going on. It's not anything bad, but I feel like the fact that they're not communicating that makes it uncomfortable. And I'm getting here, the Eight of Pentacles is like they feel very secure in this relationship. They really just, I feel like they're kind of not, the communication is necessary. That's better for the maintenance, for the maintenance of the relationship. You know what I mean? Maintaining the relationship. The best I could think of. Like this would be, if they started communicating better, that would be better for this. But they seem to be feeling like there's nothing wrong, there's no problem. They feel like if there's a problem or there's a question, you bring it forward. They're leaving that on you. This Eight of Pentacles is kind of how the relationship is established. They're leaving it on you if you have a question to bring it forward. They're not being proactive. It would be better if they were. Because I feel like the way the structure has already been built, and I feel like that's what I'm feeling with the Eight of Pentacles, the way the structure has already been built for this relationship, that's how they're handling it. Now, alright, what ones haven't I touched yet? I haven't touched these last two. I think that's it. You're waiting this out is what I'm getting. There's one other card for you I haven't touched. Okay. You're waiting this out. I feel like you're constantly questioning yourself. Am I just making this more than it actually is? Or am I ignoring something that I should be taking care of? And it feels like you're having this mental tug of war with yourself. Is there something that needs my attention? Am I going overboard? Could I be creating a problem where there doesn't need to be one? Am I going to create a problem by asking these questions? And you're just kind of tug of war, emotionally. I feel like you're waiting it out. I feel like you are waiting it out. And like when these things start happening, when the plans come forward, I'm getting the Page of Pentacles is kind of like, all right, this kind of makes sense. I think that's what that was about. I think that's what that was about. I think that's where that time was going. And okay, for example, if there's a gift, oh, this gift is for this situation. They're going to utilize this gift in this situation, or that gift was a thank you for something as a part of this situation. Okay, that makes sense. I'm getting the Page of Pentacles on your side is like it's calming the situation down. It's calming how you feel about it when that situation actually shows itself, when you actually know what's happening, when the questions are answered. I'm getting the Page of Pentacles like you're like, okay, you're not completely convinced. Part of you is still like, is that what was happening, or is that what my partner wants me to believe was happening? Because it feels like it festered for a little bit too long, and there's a little bit of emotional backup going on here, and I feel like you want to believe that matches, and that's where that time went, but part of you is still questioning, is that what actually was going on, or is that what my partner wants me to think was going on? Now, I feel like you seem to be balancing it out yourself with the Hierophant. That's what makes things better. You're kind of like, I feel like you're just kind of like, you know what, there's no problem. I got the answer. I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to worry about it. This seems to be the answer. I'm just going to go best foot forward, but I think I'm just going to have to pace myself for what comes next, because I think maybe if the Hierophant is telling me, I feel like there's like advice, but there's also saying what's more than likely to happen. What's more than likely to happen is you're going to keep a lookout for things like this in the future, and you're just going to kind of like reference this moment and see if like that's repeating in the future and handle it the same way. I'm getting what would be better is after the fact, after the dust, well, not the dust is settled, but after the situation is passed on, I feel like you can bring up a very polite conversation. Kind of like, oh, that's when I remember that. I was wondering what was going on then, and that's cool that was going on. You can bring that up in a very positive way. And I feel like you can also kind of slip in there like, I wish you should have said something. I would have helped you out or something. Like you can somehow get a very coy or very elusive, I want to say, way of putting in there, next time you're doing something like this, can you give me a heads up? Like one of those things. But you can be very creative with how you get that in there is what I'm getting. I feel like more than likely, though, you're just going to kind of let it pass on by and just kind of keep it as mental reference. All right, that's what happened this time. Next time this kind of feels weird. Like I'm going to just remember this is what happened this time. That's probably what's happening again. It'd be better to talk this out with your partner and be like, you know what, I like heads up. I'd like a heads up. When you're doing stuff like this, can you just give me a heads up? And you can put that in very nicely, very creatively to get your point across without any type of adversity is what I'm getting. What makes things better for your partner? The 9 of Pentacles with the prosperity. The situation is working out really well. Everything goes well. Everything goes very smoothly. But I feel like in retrospect, I feel like if you're not bringing it forward, because it doesn't seem like you really will, it's not likely, according to what I'm reading for this situation. Somebody else might be bringing it forward. Somebody else might be, because I feel like you're talking about this with the right people, and you're saying how you didn't know what was going on, and just you didn't get the heads up until near the end or till like later on in the game. Somebody seems to be hearing that you didn't get the heads up about what was actually happening until it was really close to it actually happening. And I feel like somebody's coming forward for your benefit, and actually for this person, your partner's benefit as well. I feel like somebody's coming forward and saying, you know what, everything's going well, this was a great situation, but I might recommend that you let your partner know, let the Scorpio know what's going on a lot sooner than this, because I know for me, I wouldn't like that. I feel like somebody's coming forward per your benefit. Is that true? Okay. And I feel like that's why the 9 of Pentacles is here with the prosperity. Like the whole situation is going very well. I feel like somebody's bringing it forward to your partner's attention. Like, this could go, I think not everybody handles this as well as your Scorpio did. So you might want to rethink how you handle things like this in the future. It's better to keep your partner in the know. You should be letting your partner know what's going on, especially things like this. And I feel like somebody's just making that point. It's not bad. It's not like anything combative. It's just like, I feel like somebody's just flat out saying, if you did that to me, if my partner did that to me, I don't think I'd handle that as well. I'd be kind of aggravated. Like, why didn't you let me in on what was happening before now? It's not a rough conversation. I just feel like they're just making a point. This seems to be going to your benefit. And I feel like you reinforcing that with just getting that little, oh yeah, I would have helped out if I could have. If or it'd be cool to know these things beforehand. I feel like you can be creative, and I feel like that goes better. Your partner communicating a little more would also help, but that might be its own situation. Did we get the message across? Okay, so I'm going to let that go there. Let's go into Scorpio singles. What do we have for single Scorpios? What do we have for single Scorpios? Messages for single Scorpios. What do we have for single Scorpios? Messages for single Scorpios. stuff. Gonna be honest, I'm not really sure where this is going just yet. Single Scorpios. There's some really good cards here, there's some really not good cards here. I guess we're just gonna have to see how they all meld together. Okay. I'm already feeling like this has a similarity to Cancer. A similarity. Okay. Because it has to do with something with the past. Something with the past. A relationship that I feel like you moved on from. And when I say relationship, this could be a situation where you dated somebody for a while, like 3 or 4 dates, maybe a little longer than that, and but for whatever reason, you decided that needed to stop, so you just kind of let it fade away. This is the past. Now, I'm getting like this other person doesn't seem to have liked how that ended. They have the 3 of Swords. I feel like they had a little bit of heartbreak over that because it just kind of faded away, but they didn't really want it to. Yet where I'm seeing you stand with the way this faded away, to you that was done is done. This is in your thoughts. It sounds kind of like when that faded away, when you faded away from that situation, you were done. And that was it. You decided it was time to move on, you moved on. The other person didn't seem to like that. Now, excuse me. I'm getting this person is coming forward again. And they have a little bit of heartbreak about that fading away, but the fact that it faded away, they're questioning if there's still something to salvage there. And what I'm getting is the King of Cups with the 10 of Pentacles. I'm feeling first they're coming forward and they're making a grand gesture. Now, when I'm saying grand gesture, I don't feel like it's like it's not the Knight of Cups, clearly. My nose is getting a little... It's not the Knight of Cups, clearly, so it's not like a grand offer of love. I feel like they're coming forward in a very stable way, explaining how, you've seen each other a few times, they've been thinking about you, they'd really like to start this up again. I feel like they're coming forward and telling you they'd like to start seeing you again. They'd like to start that up again, that they have feelings for you, and they think that you'd be a good match, the two of you, and that they think about you, and they care about what happens to you. It's different than the Knight of Cups, I think, because, well, that's going to come up later, for one. But because I feel like it's just like a stable, sound spot where they're just stating, this is how it's been, this is where I'm feeling, this is what I think of you, and I think this could be a good thing. And the 10 of Pentacles is kind of how you're realizing this person is very, very devoted to how they feel. They seem to be very established. And like they care about you, and you're seeing that they care about you. They're coming forth honestly. You're seeing like this is not going to be an easy thing to push away. I don't feel like this person is someone that you are upset with in any sense, if that makes sense. Like you don't want to be mean to them. They've been nice to you. They're telling you how they feel. It's nice that they're saying what they're saying. They're showing you that they genuinely care about what happens to you in your life. So they're coming forward in a very nice way, but they're very strong with how they're saying it. And the 10 of Pentacles is telling me, like, you realize this is quite deep with them. Where you're standing, though, is the Hanged Man. And this is, again, similar to the Cancer. You don't want to slap this person down. You don't want to be mean. You don't want to, like, just cut them off at the knees. But yet you don't really want to move forward either. You're just kind of like, well, you're thinking to yourself, I kind of let that fade away because I decided I didn't want to do this. But this person, to me, seems like they're nice enough, so you don't want to be mean to them either. You don't want to be like that person that's just kind of like cruel to somebody. You're not feeling that. If this reading is hitting, I don't feel like you really want to be... I don't feel like you just want to be harsh about it. You don't want to be at all. But you don't want to move forward either. And I'm getting here when this person's coming forward and explaining this to you, I feel like the best you can do is say, I need to think about it. And I don't know how you're doing that, because it doesn't feel like that comes across very easily. And I feel like you kind of like feel like you're almost put in a corner, like you're kind of cornered, like either have to be mean or have to or have to try this again. And it's just kind of like, I don't want to try this again. But I'm getting the Ten of Swords is kind of like, you don't want to be mean, but you don't want to try this again, and you're just kind of like, I don't like the corner. I feel like I'm getting stuck in here. I feel like I'm getting backed into a corner, and I don't like it. And the Ten of Swords is telling me you're very unhappy, that it seems to be one of those things where you either have to tell this person, listen, I'm not interested, I don't want to do this, or you're going to go forward and just kind of play along with it, and you just really don't want to. It's just like you're being backed into a corner, and you don't like it. That's the Ten of Swords. Like, it's not a small thing. Like, you really, really don't like it. And it's really making you unhappy. But I feel like it's hard to say no to this person. But you're trying to pull off, let me think about it. Things are, like, I almost feel like you're trying to pull off, like, oh, life is busy right now. Just let me, I didn't expect this to come forward. If you just give me a moment. I just need to think about it for a couple days. I hope you understand. It's just, life's a bit busy. I just need a moment to just organize my thoughts. And I feel like the Page of Swords with the psychic protection on the top here is like, I feel like you're backing off, you're trying to get away from this person, and you're questioning, like, can I get away with just letting this fade away again? Can I pull that off again? You're not going towards them, and you're just kind of like, I feel like you're kind of like, maybe I'll just kind of play it off like, oh, life got busy and I just didn't have time to get back to you type of situation. Psychic protection is like you're trying to protect yourself. You don't want to be mean, but you don't want to move forward, so you're just kind of like, I feel like I'm backed into a corner, but now I've got a little reprieve from it. Maybe I could just let it go back and just go dormant again. Maybe I could just let it kind of fade off. Maybe I can get away with it. Maybe, can I? Like, I feel like you're questioning it, but you're trying to at the same time. For good reason. Now, what's coming up next? This person comes back towards you. They give you a couple days or whatever you seem to need, whatever they feel that you seem to need. Then they're coming back towards you. Ace of Pentacles. Like, I feel like they're getting you to see them again. Like you're going out to dinner or you're going to some event. And it's not like you're against... It's not bad to spend time with this person. It's just like with the goal of becoming a romantic relationship, I feel like that's what you're not into. Hanging out just as a friend, this is going nowhere, well, that's fine. That's not a challenge. Hanging out with somebody who you know has more aspirations for this situation, they want this to become a romantic situation, that's not the best. And I don't feel like you really want, again, I don't feel like you really want to do this, but it seems like you're giving into it. And you got wisdom and glamour, like it seems like you're just playing it nice. You're trying to make it look like it's a nice situation, like you're happy to do it. But the glamour is telling me you're not really into this. But the Ace of Pentacles is here. It's kind of like this is starting a pattern. This person is not going to back off. They're the ones who are trying to make this work out. It faded away once. They don't want it to fade away again. And I feel like you're trying to get them to go slow. I almost feel like that's the Ace of Pentacles. Because I feel like the way you're doing this is like, well, all right, we can go to dinner or something, but I'm really not sure I want to get into a relationship right now. Maybe that's how you're playing that. And you're like, I need things to go extremely slow. Extremely slow. Like so slow they look like they're not even moving forward. I don't think you're going that far with that, but I'm just like, that's kind of what you want to say is what I'm getting. Like so slow that they're not even actually moving. That's how slow I want to go. Because I don't want to do this. I do see that. Like, it's starting slow, but I feel like it starts off with a dinner and then something else. And then, like, 3 weeks go by and I feel like you're like, oh my God, I'm hanging out with this person all the time again. Like, what is happening? Because what I'm getting happens next is that person, like, it seems like 3, maybe 4 weeks go by, and then the Knight of Cups comes in. They give you that offer of love, whatever way that comes forward. And I feel like they're just coming forward and they're just saying, you know, I really feel passionate about you. I want to be with you. I want to be in a relationship with you. I want to lock something in. I want it to be official that we're together. I feel like this is all about what's coming. That offer of love is coming. This person is coming forward to you in an honest sense. I don't feel like they're manipulative. I don't feel that at all. At least not with this reading. And I know it's a general read, so you have to take it for what it is when you deal with it, if this reading is hitting for you. But I'm getting like this is that moment. As long as you see it coming, you can prepare for it and decide what you want to do with it. Because if you're really not feeling it, this is the time where you're going to have to be like, listen, I'm sorry. I'm not feeling it. I thought I was, or I wanted to. Maybe I wanted to. I don't know. But I don't think this is going to work out for me. I'm not feeling that connection here. I'm sorry. And I feel like you're going to do it as nicely as you can. But if that's how you're feeling, that's what you're going to have to say. If this person somehow wins you over in this time frame, within that 3 to 4 week time frame, well, then that's up to you. You want to go forward. Clearly, you need to do what's right for you. I just feel the energy I'm connecting with is like a nice letdown, saying, I don't want to do this. I'm sorry. I wanted to give it a shot. I thought maybe it would click in, but I'm just not feeling those romantic feelings. I'm sorry. For the majority of you, I feel like that's where that's going to go. And that's how this ends. Okay. So I'm going to wrap that up there. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead and shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.